Two countries, one people, one border, heavily armed and permanently tense. Technically, North and South Korea are still at war. The fighting stopped in 1953. But peace was never signed. Today, one side is a nuclear-armed dictatorship. The other is a global economic powerhouse. At the end of World War II, Korea was freed from Japanese occupation. But liberation did not bring unity. Instead, it brought division. The peninsula was split along the 38th parallel. The Soviet Union controlled the north. The United States controlled the south. Two ideologies took root. In the north, communism under Kim Il-sung. In the south, a Western-aligned government. By 1948, two separate states were officially formed, North Korea and South Korea. Both claimed legitimacy over the entire peninsula. Tension was inevitable. In 1950, North Korea invaded the South. The Korean War began. The United Nations, led by the United States, intervened. China entered the war on North Korea's side. Millions died. Cities were destroyed. After 3 years of brutal fighting, the war ended with an armistice, not a peace treaty. The border was established near the original 38th parallel. The demilitarized zone, the DMZ, became one of the most heavily fortified borders in the world. From the same history, two different futures emerged. South Korea, rapid industrialization, democratic reforms, global companies like Samsung and Hyundai, one of the strongest economies in Asia. North Korea, isolated economy, totalitarian leadership under the Kim dynasty, strict state control, heavy military focus. Over decades, the gap widened. One became globally integrated, the other became increasingly isolated. But North Korea developed one powerful tool. North Korea conducted its first nuclear test in 2006. Since then, it has developed intercontinental ballistic missiles, advanced artillery, and expanding nuclear capability. This changes the balance. Any conflict would not just involve conventional forces. It could escalate rapidly. Meanwhile, South Korea remains allied with the United States. American troops are still stationed on the peninsula. China watches carefully from the north. The Korean peninsula is not just a regional issue. Military skirmishes still occur. Missile tests, naval incidents, political threats. But full-scale war would be devastating. Seoul, a city of millions, sits close to the border. North Korean artillery could cause massive damage in hours. At the same time, South Korea's military is technologically advanced and well-equipped. Both sides understand the cost. Deterrence keeps the balance, but miscalculation is always possible. The Korean peninsula represents unfinished history, a civil war frozen in time, two systems competing for legitimacy, one backed by nuclear deterrence, the other by global alliances. More than 70 years later, the conflict remains unresolved. The question is not whether tension exists. The question is whether it can remain contained. If tensions escalate in the region, would China and the United States be pulled into direct confrontation?